Q Jesus.
I'm looking, yeah, and I'm trying to when it pops up here, I always share it into the fan page or whatever. Where'd it go? Why is it not here?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Why is it? That's weird.
We're live, guys.
Yep.
Okay. I'm looking, yeah,
Oh.
and I'm trying to.
Jesus. So unprofessional.
Here we go.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Happy Cinco de Mayo. I am here in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona-ish. Isis, I don't know what city you're in, but Isis is here. Travis, of course, is here, and it's nice to welcome back into the mix T. Roy. What up,
hello.
T?
How you
Shalom.
doing?
Can everyone
Good.
see? Can everyone see each other?
Yes, I
I
can.
can see you.
We're starting to look like the Brady Bunch, like
I
the
know.
intro scene from the Brady
We
Bunch.
do that thing where you like you gotta look at each other.
Yeah.
Everybody looks
Yeah.
around. Oh wait, I gotta look that way.
That was funny. You looked up like Rick Brady or whatever, looking up
Yeah.
Alan's skirt, whatever it is. Anyway, happy Cinco de Mayo. I know we got a little bit of a later start than we wanted. That should be transparent to the audience. But if there seems to be tension in the room, that's why. Because I tell the guys, hey, let's go at 3, and then I have to move it to 4 and then 4:30 because I share an office studio with G, so he had a big conference call going on, so we're a little late here today, but I hope you guys are enjoying your Cinco de Mayo. I know T is cocktailed up. What are you having over there, T?
Oh, margarita, of course, sir.
Attaboy. Are you salt on the rims, sugar on the
No
rims?
salt. No salt. Nope, that's me. No salt.
No salt at all?
Nope, ever. I don't. You know what? I hate salt. I don't know. I don't get it. There's too much in all my shit anyway. I almost never use it on anything. Fries. That's about it.
Really?
Yeah. That's it.
Wow. That's interesting. I not sugar either. I know my mom was big into sugar on margarita rims for a while.
Yeah, you can, but whatever. It's not worth the effort.
I like the salt. I like that thick. I don't like household table salt. You got to get that bar salt where they dip it in water and then dip it in the.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm making Skylar's. She's got salt on hers upstairs. We got a nice little jug of it. Little lime on the rim. Dip it in there. Bada boom, bada bing.
Yeah, I should. T. You're at the crib.
I am.
It's actually
down the fort.
to see the studio. You look good over there. I see Mike Lindell in the background
Yeah,
behind.
he's back in the house. I brought him in.
Hell yeah! And I haven't been there in 6-8 weeks, something like that. So it's kind of weird seeing you in the pilot seat, not Isis.
Yeah.
And with Lindell back there. Isis, are you jealous that T. Roy's in your captain's chair?
I mean, I wish we were not doing the show like we're doing. Yeah.
Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not jealous that he's sitting there, but it bums me out that we're doing the show like this. But it is what it is.
For
Yeah.
full disclosure, I did change this little foamy thing off from my mic over to this one. I didn't.
Did you
This
really?
is the E one is over there
Yeah.
soaking in bleach.
And you know what? He won't even take offense at that. He understands.
I watched him deep throat it one day. I was like, no, that's it. I'm out.
How's Pants doing, by the way? Well, this should have probably been a conversation off the air, but fuck it. How's Big Boy doing?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in like 7 days.
Really?
I just stopped opening the door.
Ugh.
No, I'm
See you
just
running
kidding. He's
around.
all right. No, he misses
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
See-
I'm allergic to cats. I like him. He's actually a pretty cool dude, but I'm allergic.
Yeah.
So, but Skylar, my daughter's been here and she fucking hangs out with him. So he
Well,
headbutts her and busts where her nuts are supposed to be, and so he's
Yeah.
happy as a clam.
Yeah, that's Big Boy for you. I know he's gonna miss me. I'm his mom essentially. So anyway, nice reminder behind you, T, with Mike Lindell from MyPillow. I want to thank the folks at MyPillow. Of course, just go to mypillow.com. His new book is there. It's fantastic. It's a great read. If you buy that, they'll give you like a $25 gift card. If you use the promo code TDC, it's like buy one, get one free on everything they sell too. So duvet covers, pillowcases, their pillows, the Giza sheets.
The mattress topper, saving my back.
Yeah, mine
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Love
Love it.
that. So please, if you go there, buy some stuff for yourselves and use the promo code TDC. And also Amazon. We should plug it more and more and remind people, because I know that you guys are all shopping at Amazon. We're all just Amazon living, right?
Oh yeah.
We're all just making. I mean, the Prime guy is at our doorstep every other day. I don't know about you guys, but so go to the Amazon link. Just go to DetroitCast.com. Right side above the fold, you'll see the little box there. It doesn't really tell you. You ran into this, and we've run into this before. It doesn't really tell you like, "Hey, welcome to the DetroitCast Amazon thing." But trust me, at the header, at the end of it, it'll say like DET Cast or something like that, right? They'll let you know you're.
You know, I honestly think so. I don't really go on Amazon, so I'm a terrible person to ask.
He doesn't pay for things.
Yeah, it's true.
No, I pay for things. I just never. Anyway, I'm sure it's easy to do though.
It is easy to do. So people, please keep doing that. It's perfect because I know you guys are already doing that. All your shopping. Most people are doing most of their shopping anyways through Amazon. I know I am, and it's like Christmas Day. I'm waiting every day. Oh, what's coming today? What did I order? I forget what I ordered. It's like something will show up weeks later. I'm like, oh
Christmas
yeah,
morning.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. We're all making our way through the coronavirus. It's hard to do this show remotely, and you don't want to talk about the same stuff day in and day out, but it's kind of hard to avoid the coronavirus, and it sucks. Right before we went on, and apparently we were this close, guys, to a cure for coronavirus. And then...
Someone got Clintoned?
What's that?
Someone got Clintoned.
Yeah, right? All of a sudden, there's a murder-suicide with this prominent scientist in Pittsburgh. And Bing Liu was on the verge of making very significant findings, according to the university.
If he was so close, can't someone pick up the baton? I mean, he's 90% of the way there, and it's just like, oh, well.
Start over. Fuck. We were so close.
Take better notes, for Christ's
If
sake.
only he had saved his information on some sort of stick or something.
Job security, fuck it. Don't let anybody else know what you're doing.
Yeah, Bing doesn't want you to get credit for all his work. He gets right there to the final stage. He's about to, save the princess in Donkey Kong or Monkey Kong, and all of a sudden someone else jumps in and does it. No, Bing's not going out.
Let's see who comes up with the cure in the next couple of days. All of a sudden figures it out. Prime suspect.
His ex-wife.
No, well, that's where the story gets interesting because they said that he was on the verge of making very significant findings, which tells me he hasn't found very significant findings yet. He was on the verge.
I'm on the verge myself.
Yeah.
I have some very significant findings that are about to come out tomorrow. So if something happens, just FYI.
If you die, E, I'm going to say it. I'm going to tell everybody, like, you guys have no idea how
he was so close.
He was. I mean,
we're doing some major experiments over here with ducks. So
here's the problem with Jesus and his ducks. It's all up here in his head. He didn't write anything down. So all we know is he was on the verge.
Tragic.
If I tell anybody, I'll be fucked, dude. Everyone's gonna. I'm an easy person to steal from, so I have to keep it all.
He probably told somebody, and that's why he got murdered. Suicide. Whatever.
I think it's worse. I think.
Is this going to be like Bing didn't kill himself? Is this going to be a meme?
Yeah, he committed suicide with 2 bullets to the back of the head. One of those.
Yeah. Hands tied behind his back. Shot himself in the face.
Yeah. Well, the University of Pittsburgh is the one saying that he's on the verge of these incredible findings. We'll make an effort to complete what he started in an effort to pay homage to his scientific excellence.
Hey, homage!
How about save humanity?
It's not all about you, Bing. Sorry.
No, it's about the Pittsburgh getting the credit for it.
Police say Hao Gu, yes, very good, not so good guy. Hao Gu shot Liu to death Saturday and then walked about 100 yards to, and this is the key, to his car and then died by suicide. The cops said Gu and Liu knew each other before the encounter, but did not provide more details. Now, police said they're still looking for a motive. My guess, someone sucking the other one's dick is
I was going to say, sounds like a lover's quarrel, perhaps.
When you talk murder-suicide, it's usually the dude can't handle shit, kills his wife. The thought of her blowing some new guy is too much for him to handle. And so he ends her, and then he knows, shit, I'm going to go to jail for the rest of my life. So he ends himself. Sometimes he, goes to the hassle of wiping out the kids too. We've seen that. But usually when there's two dudes involved and it's a murder-suicide, it's not like, Bing didn't pay his debt on time, $100 on the Cowboy game or the Steelers game, and wouldn't pay. And what's his name? Gung Pao or whatever. How Gu killed him. Did I just
Some
name a
Chinese
Chinese
name.
Mushu
fish?
Gai Pan.
That's racist.
It's not racist.
Wow.
That's an actual fish.
just
How
a-
Gu.
Mispronunciation, that's all.
How Gu. I mean, is there any other reason? Like T, if you're gonna kill me, don't kill yourself right afterwards, because it's
No.
gonna look like we're killing each other for
That's a fair
sure.
deal. Bet. Yep.
Right, Travis? Can I have that same bet with you? If you're gonna kill me or Isis, you can't kill yourself right away, because if they link us in murder-suicide, blowing each other's the next thing that's coming. It just is. I'm telling you. Because what is the other reason that could be that you would take this guy who, by the way, let me stress this again, on the verge of making significant findings in the fight against coronavirus, which would have helped all of humanity.
Could that just be total bullshit? Maybe it was just fucking a gay dude that just got killed by his gay lover, and they were, that's Pittsburgh trying to promote their science program. Well, we were really close. This guy was working in our lab. Listen, I'm telling you, it's a tragedy, but he was right there, man. Like, we are such a good fucking science school. We need some more Mushu Gai Pan. You come finish this thing off for him.
Well, is it too soon? Is it too soon to be throwing these allegations? I don't know what the University of Pittsburgh's science program is like. Usually you hear about a prominent doctor in Sweden. You'll hear about one in China,
That was
Tokyo.
my point.
Yeah, right?
They were just
And
throwing a
so-
Hail Mary, like, hey, we are on the verge. We have no actual evidence or proof or documentation.
Can you
of
give
it,
us
but
more than just he was on the verge of some
take our word for
significant
it.
findings?
He was on the verge of making some very significant findings.
Mm-hmm.
So, Troy, I'm picking up that you are, without saying it, you're asking Pittsburgh to prove themselves.
I would like to see some evidence of that, yeah.
I mean, I don't know how much of it we'll understand, but we could have our doctors around here take a look at it and go,
I know a guy. We could run up the flagpole, see what they got to say.
yeah, we know some people in infectious disease and immunology, and Travis is tied into that world as well. He knows some people.
Yeah.
I think that's only fair if you're going to make statements like that and drag us all into it. Because if this is just a lover's quarrel, murder, suicide, it's not even in the news. But the fact is they linked this to coronavirus, saying that he was on the verge of making significant findings.
Yeah.
If we go through his work and the Dr. Fauci comes back and goes, I'll be goddamn if this guy wasn't on the verge, in fact, of significant findings. He really was.
Confirmation. That's all I'm asking for. A little validation of that claim. It's a very lofty claim to just throw out there for a guy that's dead.
Well,
prove
Bing's people, and Bing might have had nothing to do with this, but Bing's people were the ones that went, hey, can I have your attention, everybody, world over? Our guy, unfortunately, he's no longer here, but he was on the verge of
Has anybody checked? Prime suspect would be maybe Google, DuckDuckGo. I mean, if Bing gets knocked off, who do you look at
Where you usually
first?
start, right? Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. But it sucks because we're all playing this Brady Bunch look on our show right now because we can't all be in the same room and stuff. And here we
Am I
were
looking at you?
on the verge. What's that?
I was trying to look up at you.
Look straight up.
There you go.
There you go.
Anyway, I know.
Oh, can we like high five? Hey, high five. There it goes.
Where are you? T?
Oh, we lost there.
There you are.
Oh, can we do like a four-way?
High five.
Oh, wait.
I don't know how we do it. How do
He's not impressed.
I gotta do this
I
one.
know he's like, oh,
he's
fuck.
not impressed?
Oh,
Yeah.
see, we could make a little square. We'll work on that off air.
Most people are listening to us and they're going, "What the fuck happened to this one
Morons.
show?"
Wonder
show's-
Twin powers activate. Form of an iceberg.
I don't know what to believe, guys. I'm really tired of this. You know, my brother came in yesterday and he was bitching. I'm like, yeah, dude, I've been saying this for fucking 3 years, 4 years. He finally went to Fox News and was like, I'm going to read what they're saying on that website because he'll use other media outlets. He's like, it's incredible how they're not talking about coronavirus like it's a real thing. Yet you go to CNN or MSN or one of those, and most of the mainstream media sites, and it's every story.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, well, that's the problem, dude. No one knows what to believe, and you're getting told this is no big deal on one side, open the country back up, and told this is the worst thing in the history of the world. So what do we do?
It's just
And
like
I don't
everything
know,
else,
but,
though.
you
The
know, the White
reality
House-
is probably somewhere in the middle. Just like every other fucking left-right issue, the reality is probably somewhere in the middle. It's not as bad as they say, and it's not no big deal like some people want to believe. But it is something, But it makes for good ratings, and it's just like every other, epidemic or huge story that dominates the news, and it's a ratings grab.
Yeah, and I that's sad because it just is. Oh, the new episode of the news tonight. That's we joke about that. Oh, tonight on an all new episode of the news, and it's just a television program. But there's real things at stake. I'm personally not that terrified of coronavirus. Maybe that's insane. I don't know how you guys are. E is more terrified. My brother and the warden are. But I'm just like, yeah, whatever. I was saying it the other day. I'd rather get it and get it over with, and just like, okay, if I survive it, we move on with life, and don't look back.
Whatever is what it is.
Yeah.
We need to thin the herd anyway. I've said that since day one. Fuck it.
We've been saying that for years. Like Mother Nature keeps trying to give us a plague to wipe people out and take care of some of this population problem.
The problem is that is needed in reality, and no one would ever want to admit that it would be fine. If in reality it'd be fine if 20 or 30,000 old people in this country died, some homeless people fucking died, and all that shit. But on the same hand, you can't just like not do anything about it.
I know. Probably
No,
help
I'm
my
saying it's
odds
a
from
weird line.
collecting Social Security.
And
Yeah.
And then, by
That's
the way,
true, which would do us all some good. And look, it's one of those things like there's just not any evidence that this is taking kids down. Now, if you're under 18, under 21, like mostly them don't even know they had it. And their immune systems are so strong, they just fight something off anyways, like anything else. Now, you can find in the news, you can find the story of the 5-year-old, and he's got tubes connected all over his bodies, and he's losing this battle, and it's horrible, and violins are playing and soft piano and all that. You can find those stories. But the overwhelming vast majority are just fine. So to that point, it's like, well, those kids can go to school, and then they go, well, they're going to come home and infect. Thank you, T.
They're gonna. It's out of reach. Sorry.
They're going to come home and infect grandma. It's like, well, then grandma and grandpa seem to be the ones that are holding this whole thing back. No one wants to infect grandma and grandpa. Well, it sounds like grandma and grandpa need to be quarantined then. They're the ones that need not to be, people in bad health, myself included, need to be a little more careful about where we go. I don't think Travis, T-Roy, and Isis need to worry all that much. That's just my opinion from what I read. I don't know how you guys feel. I think you're different, but Trav, I think you're with me, that you're not terribly concerned about getting this flu bug.
yeah, boy.
Oh, there's shit. He's got the Rona. Look at him.
Your mic's not on. We can't hear you, Trav.
I said sorry about the voice. I coughed with the cough button on and forgot to uncough it or unbutton it. But I've been on conference calls all day. I do not have the vid. I'm more in your camp, Mike, I think. And there's a lot of data. I know a lot of people really like to be afraid. I'm sorry, but it seems like there's a certain section of people out there that like the hype and like the fear, and they're the ones that are running around grocery stores telling people to put their masks on, et cetera. And I think the more that you look at this data, and if you really can try to stay somewhere in the freaking middle and look at just the numbers, it's becoming clear that maybe this wasn't quite as contagious as we thought it was. And oh, by the way, maybe this wasn't really as bad for certain and maybe a majority of the population out there. And boy, you put that argument against someone that really wants to be afraid or really buys into all the negative side of this, and there certainly is a bad side of this. Let's not forget that the hospitals were or are busy. What's up, Mike?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So for someone like me who does not want to be afraid, I legit don't want to be, but I am. What are those? When you say the numbers are making it clear, without getting maybe too into it,
I was getting there.
what are you
Yeah.
saying?
No. So as a crow fly. So so there's a certain hospital
He has the
system.
co-flight himself.
I know. I tend to do that. There's a certain hospital system in the Detroit area right now, and what their tests are saying. I'll probably screw up the numbers a little bit, but this is pretty close. And the idea is accurate. That somewhere under 5% of medical professionals that are actually treating COVID patients. These are the people that are over top of patients, intubating them, helping them, doing whatever they have to do to take care of these patients all day long. Less than 5% are testing positive for the antibodies right now. If that doesn't say something about, there's a couple of things that could be. One, the test sucks, which a lot of people that are around me, for instance, we talked to, what did I say a few weeks ago? I said, it's funny to scroll back in your text messages or scroll back in your social media feeds and see how fast things change and how much attitudes change, right? Well, a few weeks ago, we were thinking that we all had it. I had a horrible cough at the end of January end of February into March. Had a fever, all that crap. I was pretty sure I had it. A close family member of ours, she lost her sense of taste. She had fever. She had a horrible cough that lasted forever. Those are all the signs. She had it. No, she tested negative for antibodies. How
for sure are those antibody tests though?
Exactly. So
they're not, because remember, Marshall tested positive for the antibody. Right. And they said there's a 1.2% chance that this is wrong. It was basically, well, he came into contact with it somewhere, and then it turns out, started false for a week. So yeah, and I was talking to Derek a little bit because, Deuced is an immunologist and deals with viruses. His company is helping to come up with some of these tests, and he says there's a new test that his company's coming out with that's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I was talking to him the other day. It was
hey, don't
close.
be so sure. Yeah, but he was telling me don't like when we didn't know about Marshall, he was saying, hey, don't worry about it, and don't start beating yourselves up like you stepped on something outside and brought it in. And he was saying how easy it is for these things to float around and stuff. So he's like, you can't blame yourselves. And he said, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this kid has no contact at all and this test is just fucked. And I kind of wrote him off like, yeah, well, they're saying 1% chance or whatever, but that's probably not likely. The likelihood is he came into contact with it somewhere. And then it came back, and Derek was not surprised in the least. He said these tests are just not that accurate. They're just not. And, I'm watching CNN. I flipped that on the last night, I guess it was, and Don Lemon was on, the worst newscaster in the history of broadcast media, in my opinion. And he's standing there and he's going, anything the president says, he's got to take the opposite. So the president is going, hey, we got to start fucking opening things up. And he's leaving it to each state to kind of decide. But he's really pushing that forward. And you get it. The president has to go, holy shit, we're not going to have a country if we don't get some money rolling soon. We just can't keep printing money and giving it away to people. If we can find ways to get people back to work, back to school, that's a good thing. We need to take a different approach. So Don Lemon has to go, oh no, don't believe that guy, as if this is what a newscaster would say. Don Lemon is telling me, he's looking at the camera and he's saying, please, trust me, believe me, this is the worst. You need to stay home. Just believe me. And I'm going, Don, I would like to believe you, Don, but you know what? You did it to yourself. You in the mainstream media are completely responsible for the lack of the trust by the American people. You could be 100% right, Don Lemon. I don't fucking know. One thing I know is you were adamant of Russian collusion, the Steele dossier, the Mueller report, Ukraine, the impeachment shit, Michael Flynn, the attack on Brett Kavanaugh, the non-attack on Joe Biden. All of which we said from day one, none of this would amount to shit. All that pile of stories that dominated 3 years of the news cycle. Don Lemon pressed every fucking night, and his cohorts did too in the mainstream media. So when he's standing there going, please, I beg of you to believe me. No, Don, I don't believe you. I don't know what to believe, but I don't necessarily believe the president because everything's the best. Right. Or we're doing the best, our numbers are the lowest, and our doctors are the best, and it's going to be great, and we've done everything. I don't believe him either. Me and he have talked about that. It's laughable a lot of times.
I wish he would start getting more like a single message. The thing about him I hate is that he cannot, like, even wearing masks. I know Travis kind of has his opinion, but like, can President Trump just sometimes say yes or no to something? Does everything have to just be like, him sidestepping.
Yes.
It's like
Yes, that's what he does.
it's
He
incredible.
went to he's here in Phoenix today,
I
right?
know.
He flew to Arizona. He's here at the Honeywell plant, and they've got them making masks, and it's like they've got pictures of him walking by the wear masks at all times sign, and he's not wearing a mask. He's got goggles on, and it's like he's in a mask making facility, not wearing a mask. Like he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. He's gonna get crushed for it too. It's just, but it's the point. Neither one of them is fucking right. They're both wrong, and it's somewhere in between, in the middle. It's.
Well, my problem with Trump lately is that I think that like he's not even, and it's what he's not supposed to be fighting with the media, and I know they're not treating him fairly, but I am now at the point where I do wish he would be trying, or at least appear to be trying harder to unite people versus just give actual answers at times versus just, well, I don't know. Maybe you should wear a mask some days, maybe not. I don't know. I just wish he would get a little more.
I think that's wishful thinking, and I understand.
Oh, it is.
I understand the sentiment, but think about it. If you, for 3 years, for 3+ years, were hammered, you personally, no matter what you said or what it was, you were just savagely attacked in the media every fucking day for 3.5 years. You'd be on guard too. You just would. I think anybody in their right mind would be like, I don't know what your angle is, but you sure aren't a friend of mine, and then you see the way they interview other people and they don't treat them the same way. And so while I agree with you, and I wish you could just always take the high road, and especially at a time like this, you'd think that all the brakes would be put on.
The way to win this would be to, yeah. Well, that's just the way to win this one, though, would be to literally, if he really doesn't care, that's a problem. Sometimes you say he doesn't give a fuck what people think. But in this case, the way to win this would have been to legit just do his plan, be strong about it, and stop. I think he does care. Sometimes I used to think that too, but to me, he does care. He cares very much what every single person says about him.
It's weird. He doesn't care about the big things, but he cares if you comment on how small his hands are.
Right.
Or if his hair. He cares about really petty, stupid things. He cares what Rosie O'Donnell thinks. Why would anyone give a shit what Rosie O'Donnell thinks?
I think that just means that he actually fucking cares. He cares. If you care about the little shit, that means you care about the big shit, no matter how you play it off or what you're doing. If you care about that, you care about all of it.
CT,
you can play it off a different way, but
I would agree with you. But when if you're someone that tends to care what everybody else thinks, you go out of your way to be liked by everybody. Like that's what you tend to do. He doesn't do that at all. So it's really weird. I agree with you. It's 1 minute I think this guy cares about every fucking comment made about him, and then there's times I think he doesn't give a shit about anything. It's like he's the only person on planet Earth I can say that about.
Yeah,
you don't even know. You don't even know what the fuck he's thinking, what he's doing, because he's all over the place. But
I would love.
There's just no way you can't be that big of an egomaniac, which nobody can deny, and not actually care. He might be able to play the big stuff off, whatever, but if you let that little shit get to you and you react and it all bothers you.
I mean, you could just go, oh, he said, what about my hands? Guess what? I'm the fucking president of the United States, and that fat pig ate all the cake at my wedding. Like, you don't need to get involved on any level. Just go, yeah bitch, I'm the president. Fuck off. I'm the most powerful man on the planet.
We talked about that. Like he should have already just kind of done that, but that's just not him. That's just not the way he's built. It is what it is. That's what we got, and that's what we're going to have to deal with. He should have, when he already won it, was just, especially like with impeachment and everything, was like, all right, yeah, go fuck yourselves. I don't even have to deal with it. I already won. Mic drop. Fuck off. Here we go. I'm going to go sign some stimulus checks.
I've never wanted to see like a day in the life of him more. I really would love to have a legit camera on him for 24. I want to know, like, seriously, what he does with himself when he gets on his phone. I want to see him in the hall. Does he walk down the hall and just all of a sudden, nope, gotta tweet this? You know what I mean?
Don't you want to see Donald Trump first thing in the morning with bedhead?
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. That thing just fucking everywhere.
I'd like to see him sleeping, dude.
He's looking like Korean Kingpin every morning when he wakes up.
It'd be a skullet, right?
It'd be a skullet, but it'd be hanging. God only knows. See, just to see Trump brush he probably brushes his teeth weird. with his
He
gold.
probably doesn't even. He's got both hands on his phone tweeting, and some asshole standing next to him just fucking doing this.
I'd like to see him sleeping, to be honest with you. Like, especially in this situation. Like,
All right,
when does
that's
he
weird.
decide to go to bed? I know, but when does he? And then you got Donald Trump in the freaking bed. I'm in bed now. I mean, does he say? Does he like make an announcement? I will be going to bed now, and then he just lays down.
I need to sleep. And picture
I've done
him,
enough for the day.
you picture him at 3 a.m. getting morning wood and rolling over and fondling Melania. You're like, oh God, a day in the
Smack
life.
him away. Fuck off.
Get out of here, Don. Put the thing away. Come on, I'm the president. You want to blow the president. And then it's morning dump, and he's tweeting that.
Oh yeah, that's where it all goes down.
Yeah, he's probably got a TV in his bathroom. He's watching Fox and Friends in the morning.
Those gold
Yes,
toilets.
Pete Hegseth said it right. I need to tweet it, Pete Hegseth. It's crazy. By the way, I know this story's like a week old or so, but when he came out and said well, Lysol kills this disease on contact. How about we just use it like Listerine and kill it that way? I gotta say, it sort of makes sense. It retarded man. That's if it kills when it's on the outside of the body, why couldn't we just inject it and have it kill on the inside of the body? Has anyone tried it? Well, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think they
There are
have.
a couple people, and you know what? Fuck these people. I don't want to hear the stories about, some Kansas couple, some couple in Kansas who decided to do fucking 3 shots of Clorox bleach because President Trump said it ought to kill it. You know what? Good. Don't even send the ambulance for him.
Darwinism at its finest.
Dude, it is. It is. It's like, why are we trying to save that guy? What is that guy going to add to humanity in the future when he recovers from his Clorox shots?
That is something I agree 100% with when I talk about some of these people on the left that look what Trump did, and they said I hope every Trump supporter drinks Clorox. And you know what, dude? Fine with me. Any person in this country
You're
that
dumb
wants
enough
to
to
drink
do it?
or inject Clorox, get the fuck out. You're not needed anymore.
If you're gonna take any medical advice from Donald Trump, no matter what his point of his authority is, then come what may.
Goodbye. Thank you. Your services will no longer be required in America.
What the fuck are you waving around? What are you holding there? What is
What
that?
is this toothbrush? It looks like a toothbrush.
No, I fidget with shit. It's like a reading lamp, and so you can turn it on.
It's like waving it at me like he's putting a fucking axe on it or
I know.
something.
Harry Potter over there with his wand keeps waving it
You
around.
can tell
Oh,
ghost
there you
stories. if you
go.
want.
Oh,
Boo. There you
ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those people. I just wish it's like, please tell me they haven't procreated yet. Please tell me the Kansas
Oh,
couple.
they have. They have 10 kids.
You're
It's
probably right.
But it's like,
Those are the ones that have 10 kids, dude.
yeah, I know.
They are. The people during Clorox have 10 kids. The person that actually realizes he needs to, these kids are going to go to college, they have 2 kids because they realize that
Idiocracy.
it's a fucking, yeah.
Well, this pisses me off because you've got the state health officer, Dr. Lee Norman in Kansas. He's talking about he had to hold a press conference because they were getting inundated with phone calls from people going, "Oh yeah, so is it?
Should I be doing that?
Should I be taking shots of Clorox bleach too?"
Yes.
And I would just be going, we have someone full-time answering the phones going, yes, no, dynamite idea, Cletus. Why don't you take a few shots of Clorox bleach? Get your wife and
mainline that bitch. Take it straight in there.
By the way, you're only supposed to.
I know you've got dirty needles laying around that house. Find them and find a vein and just start injecting yourself. Your services will no longer be needed on planet Earth, as E would say.
By the way, what were they? Why were they inundated with calls? You should have only been calling even if you thought you had it. Like, were people calling that didn't even think they had it and be like they thought it was gonna, if they took it now they couldn't get coronavirus? Because that's what it almost sounds like.
Yeah,
If you're dumb enough to fucking actually do a shot of Lysol or whatever the fuck it is, then you can't try and figure out why or how they decided to do it.
Can't figure out, stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Trying to get inside the brain of someone who would get to that and not even Google it or DuckDuckGo it or Bing it. Just, all right, Trump said something along these lines. Let's do it, honey. Where's that gallon of bleach. You know, and she's not smart enough to go, honey, why don't we get one of them fancy computer machine things and Google that and see what it
Or we
says?
just drink this poison.
Yeah. No, they're going to do it. And the same goes for that idiot couple wherever they were that they thought they were taking hydroxychloroquine. And it was like something that sort of sounded like that in their fish tank chemicals and did shots of that. They might have died. And I'm like,
Adios,
bravo,
muchachos.
Darwin lives fucking good. But these specialists coming out going, yeah, we're seeing a 40% increase in calls to the poison center. Wondering if this is a good idea. I'm like, tell them it's a brilliant idea.
If they
There's a
call and
case-
say, hey, I drank Lysol, just fucking hang up. just sorry. Yep.
You didn't even say goodbye to that guy. Now I had another Clorox shooter. I just hung up on him.
Have another
Dude, here's
one.
a hint. If you're calling the poison control company to decide if you should be ingesting something,
Yeah.
no, you shouldn't be.
Right?
Oh, should I do shots of this? Well, let me just call poison control to see if it's okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know. I'd have to at least go to my computer to Google poison control.
Yeah.
But these families probably have it on speed dial. God knows what their little shit's running around the
Yeah.
house or ingesting. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like you're baby proofing the house down there wherever the fuck they are. So yeah, but you know,
Jasper
all
got
these,
into
all
the
these
meth
places-
again. What do we do?
Yeah. Jasper Jr., get out of the pile of dirty needles. Jesus. They're not toys. Yeah, it's incredible. It really is. But, to those people, I say carry on and keep shooting it and whatever. But I got to say, to Trump's point, it seems logical maybe. I mean, do a shot of it. People out there listening, give it a shot.
Hey, sad
what
part
happens.
is that
You
might
do,
be that,
email in
that
and let us know how it goes.
0.1% that
Yeah.
swings the vote when those people die and kick out. Might
Yeah,
lose
you
the
know,
election for them. If you're dumb enough to fucking drink that shit, you were definitely voting for them. That's
Well,
all
like
I'm
you
saying.
said, most of them have 10 kids. They can spare to lose a couple. So
Hey, you know what? I'll
They're
take
not
this.
a voting age. They're not a voting age yet. to Troy's
even better.
king, like if they do that and they drop dead, they can't vote. He only won by 30,000 votes.
Yeah.
If he loses by 10,000 votes in November, it's gonna
I'm
be like
blaming Clorox.
God damn Clorox people. It's the Clorox people. You know they would have been camping out first in line.
Who knew the
I'm a-
Tide Pods fucking people were out in front of it?
Yeah.
You know what? If that's how Biden wins, honestly, like if someone
Oh,
would
that's
say
cute. You said
every
Biden
single
wins.
I'm saying, but if every single when I've seen like some people that hate Trump and they're like, I hope every Trump supporter takes some. You know what? If half Trump supporters want to drink some Clorox and then Biden wins because of that, I'd still be okay with that. To be honest with
Actually,
you,
yeah.
because again,
Well, ultimately, we're probably better off as a society, even if that happens for sure.
The problem is, at this stage of mental health with Biden, I wouldn't leave him alone with a Clorox bottle.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, God knows what Joe Biden's capable of putting in his mouth. He's like a toddler at this point.
well, don't
You're
worry, we'll have
drinking
Michelle
Clorox,
Obama
you're
to
probably
run the country
taking from
then.
this system more than you're contributing to it. It's just my guess.
Yeah.
Don't,
It's a
don't
net
worry.
positive.
Where's Oprah when we need her? Where's Ja Rule when we need him?
I mean, no,
The
but,
Fire
well, no, but
Fest.
Michelle Obama's going to run the country if that happens, because Biden will die. She's going to be his vice, and don't worry, she's never been a politician whatsoever. So she obviously is,
Listen, if
Let's be
Biden
honest.
has Clinton as his VP, I guarantee there's no fucking way he makes it 4 years. He's dead. There's no fucking way he survives a term and she doesn't fucking become president by that.
Oh, dude, he
No,
won't make it
I
6
wouldn't do
months.
it just because of that. It's a death sentence. If you were to no fucking way, nobody would ever pick a Clinton as your VP.
No.
It's a suicide note.
She'd just be handing you loaded weapons all day in every meeting. She'd be wearing giant clown shoes and walking 2 steps behind you
Right.
at all, hoping to just trip you. Yeah, no, there's no doubt, and that's a good point, T. If he were to pick Hillary Clinton as his running mate, what is the death pool on Joe Biden? 6 months?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I mean, do you think as soon as he goes inside after giving, I swear,
Here,
and
wait. She would
the United
give him. She would give him. Here's the thing. You don't want to do it right away because then she's got to actually deal with the whole fucking term. Let it play out a little bit. Let him fuck around, and then no matter what happens, You whack them about 2.5, 3 before that. You know, the new primaries coming up. You whack them about then, because if shit's going bad, you can be like, all right, listen, that guy was a fucking shit show. Let me straighten this thing out. And finally, I'm here. And if it's going good, then you can just pick up the reins and run with it. Either way. But if you do it early and then you fuck this shit up on your own, it's on you. Yeah. So you got to let him run the course. You just got to make sure he doesn't get to that, you know, that third year, you know, primary.
She doesn't give a fuck whether it's going good or bad. She wants to be a president.
Yeah, she'll just fucking have him whacked as he's standing there with his hand on the Bible and the thing.
Even if it's
wait till he says I do or whatever the fucking signs in. All right, is it official? Am I the VP if he dies?
Yeah. No, there's no doubt about it. He would have to know that. Like I mean, if he was of mind, he would go, don't leave me in the same room alone with her.
But what does he really know these days?
Not much.
They've told him over and over. He just keeps forgetting.
Yeah. if he wins the presidency and she was the vice, I swear to God, we'd get images of him out mowing the lawn and shit. He'd be out mowing the White House lawn. He would definitely he'd be picking out the Christmas decorations and doing all the first lady shit.
She's going to walk up and shake his hand and be like, hi, I'm Gretchen Whitmer. Nice to meet you. Yeah.
I don't think they'll even get Hillary's she's too poisonous. I think they're too scared.
I don't know. It says a lot. When if you lose an election by 30,000, if you lose an election by 30,000 votes, and then you have this past 4 years that have been so fucking polarizing, and you don't even put your hat back in the ring, like, hey, I think I can get 31,000 votes, maybe more this time. You know, you don't even come back at it. It says a lot, like a lot.
Yeah. Well, she looked like a mess too. She was fainting all the time and tripping and falling, getting into cars. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the country could do better. And Michelle Obama clearly is the most qualified person on the planet.
Sign her up
to run this. I don't know why Michelle Obama is involved. She's clearly overqualified for the job.
I'd vote for him for sure.
Plus, that just gets the first man in the White House too. He's already familiar with the digs. Yeah. I mean, it'd be a perfect. You know, she could have him as a VP even.
That was my theory back before. If Hillary ran and took Bill as her fucking VP, because you can be a VP even after 2 terms as president, right? I think.
Yeah, probably.
That's
I don't
a
think
loophole, right?
I don't know why.
And even if Hillary was like, all right, listen, you fuckers, I know you don't really like me, but you dig my husband. So here's the thing. Wrote me president so I can say I'm Hillary, first female president of the United States, and I'm going to let Bill run the shit.
Yeah.
She might win it. I'd vote for it. Fuck it.
Can you imagine Bill with a third term in the White House? Oh, man, come back in. But look who's back in charge. Hey, motherfuckers, y'all miss me? How much you miss me after Trump bullshit? All I did was get blown under my fucking desk, man. I didn't almost start World War III and let y'all die of this virus and shit.
My Secretary of Defense, Monica Lewinsky.
Oh, my God. That's so funny. Tiger King. Did you ever watch Tiger King?
Who didn't in the first week of fucking Corona? Didn't the entire world watch that?
Dude, I did until I started watching it, and then I had to shut it off because there's a 5-year-old in the house. Can't watch a tiger bite off a chick's arm or whatever. So I've watched part of it, and it's compelling as shit.
Yeah.
But Joe Exotic sounds like a real piece of work. And now, do you know they have 2 TV series in production that they're coming out with about Joe Exotic?
It's probably that shady fucking dude with a hat that promoted the whole thing the first time. He's just making money on it now. Like, I got fucked the whole first time around this thing, but now I'm going to make all my money back.
Apparently, he had a Texas Monthly, like, magazine, fanzine type thing. Joe Exotic did. And
what is a Texas month? What the fuck is that? What is a Texas Monthly?
Texas Monthly article, Joe Exotic, A Dark Journey into the World of a Man Gone Wild by Leif Reichstad. And I guess this 8-episode television show is based on this article or whatever in the Texas Monthly.
All right.
And it's Imagine Studios and CBS.
Really?
And they've got Nicolas Cage. First time he's taken a role on a TV show. He's going to be playing Joe Exotic.
Okay. Well, in all fairness, what was the last thing you saw Nick Cage in?
Well,
National Treasure? Can you name one thing since then? Anybody? I'm waiting.
Leaving Las Vegas.
That's like
Moonstruck. Raising Arizona. Face Off.
I'm talking. Yeah, in the last 10 years, though.
I know.
Before he became a meme.
He's a voice in the Spider-Verse movie.
Is he?
I think voice. Yeah,
Okay.
dude. I don't know. I'm reading off the page. He's won an Academy Award though
Yeah, he did.
for Raising Arizona, I believe. Was
Well,
that the
if
role?
you have documentation, has he done anything legitimate? Okay, not voiceover work, but what sense that anyone's ever seen since National Treasure?
What has Nick Cage done? Because he's still regarded as a huge, like box office.
He had a minute, but I'm just saying, dude can name one movie in the last fucking 10 years that he's done. Brad, you're a
Someone
smart
big
guy.
man.
Anybody? Nothing.
I'm
Anybody?
trying to look it up.
He's
See?
trying.
I'm not even gonna bother because I know it's not there.
There's
It's gonna be like an
he
infomercial,
works on
or
average,
like a Lifetime
three,
movie or whatever the fuck he did. That's about it.
3 to 4 movies a year, but nothing that's really jumping
Yeah,
out.
not one
no.
that anyone would actually know. Right,
He's
right? Keep
got-
going
let's-
back. National Treasure. I bet you that's the last one.
2007 was a National Treasure Book of Secrets.
Yeah.
His upcoming films include
Sorry, 13 years.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent.
I know. I deal with that every day.
Yeah, I know, right? And also
That's my autobiography.
The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Yeah, that screams T-Ray. Is he playing
Yeah.
you in a movie? T.
Yeah.
A movie called,
Nick Cage could play me.
he's got yeah. Well, I guess that's what he's got coming up. But anyway,
Gross.
Kate McKinnon is also starring Joe Exotic TV show. She's going to be playing the role of Carol Baskin
Wait,
in that.
Kate McKinnon? Is that what you scrambled a little bit? Kate McKinnon's Kate Carol Baskin?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Is that the girl he tried to kill or whatever? The one that hates him?
Yeah, it's the one that whacked her husband and had eaten by tigers. Oh, spoiler alert. Sorry, you haven't seen it all.
I haven't seen it all. Dude, when this thing dropped on March 20th, it's estimated to have reached an audience of 34.3 million unique viewers in the first 10 days of availability.
Listen, hold on. Just for the record, if the world wasn't in a quarantine, fucking nobody would probably have watched this thing. This steaming turret. It was good. Okay, I'll give it that. But it just happened to come out like when everybody never left their fucking house. And everybody went, holy shit, what's on Netflix?
I know. T, we were talking about it a couple weeks ago. The WNBA was bragging how they got more viewers for their draft this year than ever before. It was like, gee, I wonder why.
You went from
'Cause
17 to 20.
we're all handcuffed to our houses. I mean, there's nothing on. It's like, you're bound to pick up a few eyeballs, even the WNBA. But I was reading last week about Joe Exotic because, like I said, I haven't finished that thing. And, he was into the gay. He had a boyfriend, a few boyfriends, but he was into big three-ways and shit and filming them. And I was reading this story, and I wonder how many people are going to be like, because there was petitions going around to have the president pardon Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
And it's like, so this guy's been in his house. He bailed when the feds were after him or whatever. He bailed, and he had his employees go in and trash the place. The house still has some of his clothing hanging in the closets. Dishes remain on the counter almost 2 years after he fled from the FBI. His old bills and employee files are just strewn across the floor. And this gets rather seedy. Jeff Lowe, he's the current owner of the Greater Wynwood Exotic Animal Park, revealed details of his disturbing secret lifestyle, claiming
That dude's dirty as fuck, just for the record. You haven't seen the whole thing? That guy's shady as fuck. But no, go ahead.
all of them are.
I know, but I don't trust a word that comes out of that dude's mouth. I'm just saying.
Jeff Lowe.
Lowe, yeah.
Okay. He said that the docuseries failed to include twisted allegations of Joe, including some stuff with some of his animals.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. I don't mean he was petting them too much.
Knew that was coming.
Maybe he was petting him
Didn't
too
you
much.
just know it? Didn't you just know accusations of him fucking some of his animals?
Come on, wait a minute. I don't care how gay, I don't care how whatever, but who's got the fucking balls to fuck a tiger?
I don't know that he was
Who
fucking.
could fuck a tiger? I mean,
Well-
unless it's like caged up or something, maybe, and it's just locked down so it can't do
caged up.
anything. But there's
You
a lot of
can't-
things. Like a goat, I'd take a shot at, but fucking a tiger, man, no way.
No. But
No
but
way.
if you'd knock one out, you'd trank one.
Oh well, that's
The
different.
only way
Oh.
you rate the tiger is if you tranked one. But
All
he
right, I
wasn't
guess that-
fucking tigers. Don't worry, calm down. He wasn't fucking tigers.
Oh, phew.
But some of the things he was doing, he engaged in filming sex acts, drug use, using stuffed animals as sex toys. He's really into the animal thing. Joe was one creepy guy. After Joe fled the zoo, these employees went in and trashed it. Lowe said he and his wife, Lauren, were in there one night at Joe's house for dinner. They were sitting at the kitchen counter when another employee came up to them and said, Joe Pierce's guy's dick's over there. And that was enough to make him leave dinner. Would that be enough to make you leave dinner if someone went,
who left dinner? Jeff Lowe?
Yeah, and his wife.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. They were like swingers and fucking weird. Come on, don't. Listen, who said that? Jeff Lowe?
Jeff Lowe and his wife Lauren were there for dinner.
Yeah, I know. Oh, and he got up and left because he was offended because somebody pierced a cock? Bullshit. He's watched dudes fucking hammer his wife. Dude, don't fucking. I don't buy a word that dude's saying.
T, I got to go based on your word because I haven't seen this. I don't know.
Yep.
Lowe said they were so disgusted they got up and left without eating a thing. Joe fled in June 2008.
Because he had a Prince Albert? How is that like ruin your meal?
I don't know. I call
bullshit. Bullshit.
The first place this guy headed to when Joe split was I went up to see what was in the attic because he had said, hey, if I die or something happens to me, don't let my mom go up to the attic. So God knows what was going there. So that's the first thing. He said he pulled down the stairs to the attic and boxes of dildos, leather whips, chains, and bondage devices all came crashing down on top of him.
Nothing makes someone want to go look at something more than saying, if I die, don't let my mom go into this room right here. Just FYI.
E, do you have a drawer or a closet or a room in your house that we should be aware of? Like, if something happens? No? Okay.
That's all. There's nothing in my room that anyone couldn't look through.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's not back in the, I don't know. It's, like I said, maybe if it was 20 years ago, back when you actually had like a few porno mags in some area, I could be like, this one box has a bunch of, but not anymore. Because of the phone and shit like that. So,
does it bother anyone? There were hooks in the ceiling where Joe would have a chair there, and then he would film dudes banging each other while swinging in his chair.
You don't have one of those?
No, I don't. I don't have a problem with it. He then found a handful of thumb drives which were filled with several videos and pictures of Joe's husband, John Finley, having banging other dudes. Still nothing wrong there. Lowe said he found emails of Joe finding dudes on Craigslist and offering them money to have sex with him and Finley. One was titled, "Would Pay You to Fuck Me." Lowe also found emails of Joe soliciting big black cock every Tuesday and Thursday night. So Tuesday and Thursday night were big black cock night.
I thought that was reserved for Fridays.
No.
That was Eggplant Friday. Not got the memo.
So he would pay $300 to $400 to have a big black cock come over on a Tuesday and a Thursday and bang him. Joe often said the N-word. Does that surprise anyone that Joe would be maybe tossing around the N-word from time to time?
Well, wait, after he's paying for the BBC, then I'm not sure. I'm a little conflicted. He's sending a mixed message there. That's all I'm saying.
He says he was a racist. He said the N-word all the time, but he had no problem hiring black guys for sex.
That's what I'm saying. It's a mixed message. I'm just a little confused. That's all.
Well, just like the guy,
or the other, whatever you want to do, but I just feel like he's playing both sides of the fucking fence there.
It's just like the pastor that rails on homosexuality, but really he's banging dudes left and right. That's
fair. Something tells me he wasn't throwing the N-word around when there was a BBC there. That's all. Probably that wasn't the time he was saying it.
At least for a couple hours on Tuesday and Thursday nights.
Yeah,
not just tossed around willy-nilly.
Just a guess.
Did you guys see the guy, by the way, shopping in some California grocery store or something, and he wanted to mask up proper, and so he grabbed his Klan mask?
Saw that. Yeah, that was
real smart move.
Yeah. I'm surprised he made it out of there, but
goddamn Hillary voters.
Doesn't that have
if you're
for your mouth?
Wait, for the record, something tells me he didn't vote for fucking Hillary. That sounds like a Trump guy to me. I'm just saying. But
really,
the
you didn't pick up my sarcasm there.
Oh, sorry.
Don't those masks have like an opening around your mouth though?
Yeah. Well, just the eyes for that one. I think I saw.
Dude,
you just had the eyes pulled out of there.
If the eyes are cut out, the virus doesn't go, oh shit, I don't know how to get in here. How do I get in?
Right. That's what I'm saying. And even the mouth, the mouth isn't it cut out in a Klan mask? Like,
I don't know. Are all Klan masks the same?
I guess in his defense, not that he has any defense, but if you want to boycott the fact that they say, okay, if you're going to go to the grocery store, you have to wear a mask, then okay, go fuck yourself. It doesn't say what kind of mask I have to wear, right? Because it doesn't say. It just says you have to wear a mask if you go into the store. That's all it says. It really doesn't say like a fucking N90, whatever fucking, certain medical mask, whatever. It just says you have to wear a mask.
It says a mask, not a hood, for one. But,
well, okay, it's a fine line. I'm just saying, whatever. But so put a Hitler mask on, whatever the fuck. It doesn't matter. It's just the point okay.
What is a Hitler mask?
I don't know. I mean, that looks like Hitler. I'm just saying. If you want to be an asshole, it's still a mask, and you're technically within the letter of the law. That's all.
Imagine this guy's thought process, by the way. We're in a pandemic. They're asking people to wear masks in the store. He's driving up to the Walmart, I'm assuming, but whatever.
No, he was in Home Depot. He had to buy 2x4s. He had to buy nails. He had to buy lighter fluid. I mean, you have to wear a mask to go in there. It's common knowledge.
Yeah. But just imagine this guy's thought process in this time. It's like, what is he thinking? He's in the car and just like, yep, this is going to kill. I'm going to get so many fist bumps.
Probably so excited. Like, I can finally do it. Fuck him. I can do it.
The balls. I mean, this Clayton Bigsby character, dude, he fucking, like, maybe his thought was, ain't nobody going to get within 6 feet of me if I'm wearing my hood.
Right. This is my time.
He better not run into a big black cock in the place.
No,
I'll say that.
Yeah. I am surprised he didn't just get his ass fucking kicked.
Yeah, I think that is so over the top of people. What a dipshit. That guy's going to go home and do a couple shots of chlorine anyways, or Clorox. So
honestly, he probably had it anyway. That's a dude who probably got it. I don't know if I want to be touching him.
Yeah, it's... Wasn't that the rumor?
I don't know, man. If I was a black guy, I don't know that. I mean, even as a white guy, I almost want to punch that dude in the fucking face, to be honest with you. So I don't know how you could not.
You
see a dude walking around in the hood? I'd punch him right in the fucking face for sure.
If we walked into Kroger and that dude was walking around unironically pushing a cart, grabbing food and stuff, I could see you ripping that thing right up his fucking head.
Maybe piss on him, something. Who knows? But whatever. I'm just not just gonna be like high five, dude. Yeah, get it.
Just toss him into that Brock's candy thing, that circular.
There's got to be one fucking black guy out there that was pissed off enough. Like, really? Dude, hold on. I'm gonna go meet you outside by that 72 F-150. I'll be waiting right next to it, and we're gonna get down.
And no one would even be mad at him.
No, fuck no.
If he could
I'll take a jury of my peers, please.
Yeah,
go ahead and find me guilty.
I might get the vid, but I'm taking one for the team, and this guy's going to go down like a sack of potatoes in this grocery store.
He'd be
and then
a hero.
when he wakes up, in 5-10 minutes, he's going to wake up and he's going to think twice about throwing on the old Klan hat before going out there.
Some people make it really hard. I'm a very positive person. I try to only do, as I try to only make positive posts. I try not to do all this shit. And some humans make it very fucking hard on people like me in a way, because it's like, dude, what are you doing?
Well, we were talking about it the other day, and Travis and I were kind of like, dude, really, when we're, you want to be on certain people's teams and like, all the people in the militia guys that fucking, AR-15'd up and went over to the Capitol to protest not being able to, be the state of Michigan still being on lockdown. And Travis was just kind of, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, Trav, but just kind of like, dude, it'd be so much easier. I kind of believe like you do, like I should be able to call my own shots here and go out if I want or work and blah, blah, blah. But you make it so much harder when you're militiaed up and Confederate flags waving and all that kind of stuff. But you see the guys that they Photoshop dildos into their hands instead of guns.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, they look so silly. Have you seen those, T?
Yes, I was actually just pulling it up. I don't know if we can actually do this or not, but I was trying to find the picture of it in case anybody hasn't actually seen it. But I think it's brilliant. I love that somebody took the time, because everybody's got the fucking time right now I can't find one that's not blurred out, unfortunately. They all seem to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm not a real
those
engineer.
Guys standing back there all, decked out in their gear that they worked so hard to put on. And some of them probably listen to this very show. But you kind of admit it's kind of funny seeing them like holding up an AR-15 and someone's turned it into a giant double-ended rainbow
It's
That's the message
fantastic.
they were expecting to send.
No, exactly, right? That's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
For sure.
And people have gotten so good with Photoshop. You know, it used to just be like they'd put a dildo in a hand, but the fingers wouldn't wrap around the dildo because they didn't have the technology to really cut that all out. Now it looks like you brought a 3-foot double dong rainbow.
Oh, there we go.
You got one?
Yeah, I don't know if you can put that up there, Trav, or whatever. It's a shitty. I'm sorry, I suck at this, but there's in case so I can see. There's a. I think it's great. No, I think it's fucking great, man.
And if you're that guy who thought
Yep.
I'm making a stand, I'm going to the
perfect.
courthouse, going to the Capitol building
Yep.
in Lansing. I'm going to let my voice be heard. And it's like, really? This guy's gently resting his hand on the ball sack of a like a stressfully.
Oh yeah, that's an angry tip too. Look at that thing is
Yeah.
that's fiery red.
Someone is squeezing that fucking base, just squeezing it to death to get all the blood to go screaming to the top.
Yeah.
That thing it's like a fucking mercury thermometer that's about to burst.
The guy on the left's
And-
going, "What's your color?"
Oh my God, people are so fun.
I know. Well, good for somebody because they fucked themselves on that. You know, I can appreciate going and speaking your voice, and I'm all for protest and the right to assemble and all that shit. I'm not saying I agree with them. I agree with the principle of it.
Yeah.
But then you look like an asshole when you go out there with Confederate flags and Trump fucking shit and all your fucking guns and it's not the fucking point. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's not the point of what your protest is. So you lose all validity of what you're trying to fucking do.
And you're just
I want to
losing.
shoot my gun. God damn it! Ah, open up the country. Fuck off.
Anybody that would have been on your side that you're trying to convince
Yeah,
to be
you
on your
just lost.
side is gone. They're gone. You don't.
That's why the
get
dildo
that.
fucking Photoshop is perfect. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Whoever did that, you're a fucking hero. Not all heroes wear capes.
Yeah, and I'd be so bummed too because that got international media.
Yeah.
Like it's one thing if
I know.
you know,
Imagine being those three because that's the most popular picture. I'm sure there's more, but that one's the most common that I've seen at least. But
Yeah.
imagine being those three dudes and then have to go to your clan meeting tomorrow. Hold a big rainbow cock. I swear to God, it was my AR. It's not really a dick. It's an AR. I swear to fucking God.
Yeah. What are you doing, Cletus? Showing up? We said AR-15, not a big giant rainbow cock, Cletus. God damn it, boys! I did not bring a double-ended rainbow cock to that meeting. I swear it was a gun.
I love
Yeah,
the
and-
middle one's
and-
a big double ender too.
I know. Imagine that guy trying to live that down. Because if that was one of us that ended up on the international papers,
Over.
dude, I would have to get a
Infamy.
whole new circuit of friends.
Yep.
Like my
Yep.
friends, every friend I have would be with no mercy, and I mean no mercy. I don't care how much depression is set in, how suicidal you might be. My friends would, without mercy, it would be an unrelenting, dude.
No. Move to fucking
Constant.
Peru. You're done.
Every birthday party they threw for you would be lined with dick streamers and cock napkins and cock cakes and.
Well, you'd have to just lean into it. Just go to Adam and Eve or whatever and see if you can buy a 7-foot fucking rainbow dildo and fucking own it. Whatever. See if you can get a rainbow AR-15 or something.
Every
Get one big
gift
enough that you can
my
like hollow out and put your fucking gun right into it. It look like a cock that still shoots.
I don't know how we got here, but going back to wrap up Joe Exotic. So they found stuffed animals missing the heads and the anus, the assholes drilled out.
I bet they were.
Yeah, but the stuffed animals. And then here's the part: you were worried about the tiger, and who would be dumb enough to fuck a tiger? Well, this is a former park security employee, so this is not Jeff Lowe, whose word you take with a grain of salt. He claimed that Joe and John would dress up in lingerie and in the middle of the night bring goats, sheep, and llamas to their house. And
I said that's all fair game. I was thinking tigers, man. That's all I thought he had. He's the tiger king.
Llamas.
I ain't
E,
scared
you
of a llama.
don't sleep. Are you? Am I losing you, E? Are you
Well,
sick?
No. Well, for one, I never saw this, so I mean, but I'm not on this camera. I can see what this camera's on. I'm
you
not
didn't
on
watch
it.
Tiger
and I didn't
King
watch
E?
it. No, I'm not gonna, and I'm not going to.
That seems like a weird stance to take.
Kind
I
of.
hate when people. I did it with Avatar. I hate when people start to, at one point, when a mass group of people decide to tell people that they have to watch something, then, like, I've never seen Avatar, and that's the reason why I never saw Avatar.
Well, and
everyone
it's not on a great movie. And,
Well,
it's okay. No, you do
I'm
you, bro. You don't
everyone
need
told
pussy,
me
so
that I
whatever.
had to, and I
Take it
decided
with a grain
not
of
to.
salt.
Yeah. Hey, how long have we
Yes, you
gone?
talked about it. You watched it.
How long have we gone?
Just an hour, almost nuts, just over. I started
Just
the clock. Look at me, yeah. But it was a little, yeah.
Boy.
But I started just a little late because I forgot I had the clicker.
I usually write it down, but I didn't
Weird.
today. So let me
Nope.
know when we're getting close. And if you guys got to go, we can wrap it up. I know we started late, but
It's not like I got to work tomorrow. Fuck it.
yeah, no, well, Travis does. Travis is the only one I think that has to work. So
Wah, wah.
as long as he's hanging in, just have one of the ladies that's running around the house run upstairs and make you a cocktail. You'll be good to go, Trav.
That would be nice.
I know.
Promise.
Did you
Yeah.
notice? Not. I got a refill. What are you? You got to work on your woman over there, man. Jennifer, go. Can you get the guy a drink for fuck's sake? You hear him saying,
She's parenting up there.
Well, then send one of the kids down. Fuck.
Have one of the kids pick you up a drink.
It's
They'll
about time
probably
to teach them how to make a cocktail, for shit's sake.
About a year or so.
So, as if coronavirus wasn't enough to have everybody on edge, what do you guys think of the new murder hornets moving into America?
Fall for it. Fuck it. Let's go.
I don't know much about it other than it's happening, I guess. Is it? I don't know how many there, what the deal is exactly with it.
Well, it's the giant Japanese hornet. I know that's racist to say, just like, the
We'll come
Kung
back and bite
Fu-
us. Yeah.
Yeah, calling it the
Kung-
Japanese.
The Kung Hornet.
No, call the giant Japanese son of a bitch is they said it sounds like an Apache helicopter when it's flying around. It's so loud. It's got a 3-inch wingspan. This is a hornet. And so,
Perfect. I want to know it's coming.
well, it's
Like, I mean, I'd
here.
rather it that than like be silent and sneak up on me and fucking kill me. I want to hear this thing.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
Fuck you.
Well, I was dude, this thing is seriously like 2 inches in length.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's huge. And I watched some guy, one of these extreme wildlife shows where people like, this guy, Nathaniel Coyote Peterson, he does a show, and this is going back a couple of years ago when he filmed this, went to Japan on the hunt for these things because he gets himself stung by the world's like nastiest insects. So you get fire
Shitty
ants.
fucking job.
Yeah, he's like, all right, mate, let's see what it's like. And he'll grab this thing by the tweezers and put it on his arm and be like, oh, fuck, big mistake, big mistake. So he's got like bullet
You're
ants.
right.
have gone-
Rattlesnakes hurt.
This one guy, a beekeeper in Vancouver Island, Conrad Berube, has been stung 7 times by these hornets. He said, it feels like having red hot thumbtacks driven into your flesh. I watched the video of this guy, and you guys can bing this later and watch a video. This guy catches one of these bees into a little container, puts it in a little container, and then he's got these like rubber tip tweezers, and he's like, all right, you ready? We're gonna see what this sting is all about. He says it on the sting pain meter, it registers as a 2 out of 4. And he's like, let's see what it's like. And he said the bullet ant I let sting me, or there's a tarantula hawk or something else that he had bite him that he said was horrible, the worst. And he lets this thing dig its stinger into him, and he's like, he freaks the fuck out. And immediately he's in just agony, screaming, rolling around. This thing fucking swells up instantly. His whole, like 24 hours later, his whole fucking arm is swollen, his hand, and he's still in pain. 45 minutes later, he's in agony. He's like immediately searing pain from this thing. I'm like, this is great. A tarantula hawk. He got bit by bullet ants and bees. He rated this pain as the worst he's ever experienced. He said this insect is the stuff of nightmares. In Japan, they actually call them the great sparrow bee because of their flying. They look like a bird, noting their 3-inch wingspan. It sounds like an Apache helicopter. You can definitely hear them before you see them. So entomologists have raised the alarm in the U.S. following sightings in Washington, close to the Canadian border. What?
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So wait, so the guy got bit, stung.
Yep.
And it hurt.
It did?
Did he die?
No,
Why do they call it a murder hornet?
because it kills 50 Japanese a year. It doesn't murder every.
Oh, I know. All right. No, okay. Well, I'll save that.
It would
comment.
take.
But
The thing is, the stinger will get stuck in you.
why didn't he die?
Because he didn't get repeatedly stung 50 times.
Oh,
Some of these
well,
guys get stung in the stinger. They just keep zapping you, and the venom is so powerful, it can kill. It kills 50 Japs a year. Yeah.
That sounds racist.
So if you, well, it's what it is. The adult length can be 4 inches.
Right? What do you think about that? Wait, were we still talking about the Japs? But no,
Yeah.
oh, hey, all right, sorry.
The stinger length, quarter of an inch. Yellow face, that seems racist too, right? Doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah, it does.
large black and yellow striped abdomen, large jaws, and a noisy flyer. Administers 7 times more venom than typical bees.
Who gives a fuck about the jaw if it can't bite you?
Well, it's got little claws, like grappling hooks, dude, in its legs. And so it grabs onto you and then he fucking
So it-
stings you.
So
And
it
these sons
pinches
of
you,
bitches-
bites you, and stings you?
Yeah, dude, he's a dick. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And what they do, the reason that this is of such concern, because honeybees here, that's how we get our blueberries and our strawberries. They fertilize them and pollinate. And these fuckers eat honeybees. And so one of these dudes will go in to the hive and they just rampage. They start biting the heads off all the bees. This farmer found thousands of his honeybees all decapitated on the ground, and these guys take the heads back to the den to feed to their babies.
That's the worst part about the story, right?
Jesus.
The
Right,
the honeybees have enough, enough.
They're
They're
going
already
on.
dying, I thought.
They're like nice
Yeah.
and give us honey
Yeah.
and what the fuck
Yep.
they do to you?
I mean, screw humans. We
Find
can defend
something else
ourselves.
to eat
but-
on?
Dude, think about this as parents out there. They go in, they crash the party of these honeybee nests. They decapitate all the guys. I think they gut the queen, and then they steal the young and take them back to their camp to feed on the heads and the baby bees.
Ruthless.
Yeah, vicious. It could also decimate the country's honeybee. If it takes root, they're trying to find these hives wherever they are in America because this is not natural here. And now that they found them here, they had one they found, and this guy's videoing it, takes down a fucking mouse in seconds.
A murder
mouse-
hornet takes down a mouse?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
ruthless.
There's video of it out there. Fucking bing it if you don't believe me. Beekeeper in Washington found one of his colonies dead last November with thousands and thousands of honeybees lying on the ground with their heads torn off.
Jesus.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of, E?
What?
Remember the suicide plant?
Oh, yeah.
The gimpy?
Yeah, I think so.
The plant that's like, get away from me. Fuck off. Don't get near me.
Yeah.
And his sting is, this guy, by the way, this guy that got bit by one of those murder hornets, if the stinger gets inside you, it'll be there for years and you're in searing pain. This guy was in searing pain for 3 years.
Oh, just chop
Yeah.
that fucking arm off. Fuck that.
Holy shit.
It
Yeah,
reminds me of, the most painful stingers in the world. There's this one plant, and it's in Australia, and it's the
All the
gimpy.
scary shit's in Australia. They get the worst shit down there.
Well, it feels like being burned by hot acid and electrocuted at the same time, according to this botanist.
Oh, we all have been there.
Yeah. If you touch the gimpy, not that you have to touch it, it's got this really, really fine fuzz and it sheds like a cat. So if you just walk by, like,
Yeah.
it's like rubbing a balloon on your head, the static electricity. These things will just fly into you and just be like, zing, zing, zing. So that's why we were always like, get away from me, dick licker. And I don't know what kind of childhood trauma the gimpy had, but he is a bad motherfucker. So there's one serviceman, Cyril Bromley, in World War II, fell into this plant in World War II training exercises. He ended up strapped to a hospital bed, as mad as a cut snake. Went crazy. There was also this officer who unknowingly, this poor dude, takes a shit in the woods, grabs one of these things, and wipes his asshole with it.
That's why you don't wipe in the woods.
Well, he used the gimpy plant leaf as toilet paper. He ended up shooting himself in the face
Oh,
just to make it sad. That's how
And
painful.
then died of COVID.
No, he didn't die of COVID. This is back in World War II.
No, just-
Probably
Died of lead poisoning.
Botanist Ernie Ryder was whacked in the face, arm, and chest in 1963. It wasn't until 1965 that he was finally free of the pain. If you're stung by a plant, you just can't pluck the needles out with tweezers. They're too fine and too dense. One of the best solutions is to do a Brazilian wax on yourself and wax them sons of bitches out. But if one of them breaks off inside you, 2-3 years of absolute pain.
Good thing I get my Brazilians every 2 weeks.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, this there are researchers who say they have stored these leaves, these dried leaves, for a century and still been bitten by him. How fucking awful is that? It does produce fruit though, and so there's certain animals who have adapted. They say it's more recent people like us, like humans, horses, and dogs, who get fucked by the gimpy gimpy. But yeah, you want to avoid that if you're.
I don't want gimpy gimpy.
No, it sounds awful. Awful.
It's a terrible name.
What? No, sorry.
No. Have you guys been watching the Jordan special? I know you don't have cable right now, T. You don't have DirecTV.
Nope. I'm on Netflixing like a motherfucker. I got everything but real TV, so I haven't seen it. No, but I've heard it quite a bit.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, they've really done a good job with this thing. So there's all this interest in Jordan stuff. God, his former agent came out and said, or he might even be his current agent. He's, Jordan's obviously one of the most marketable figures in the history of sport.
Yeah, the GOAT, really.
Signed up with, he signed up with an agent early on whose firm represented mostly. So they had Arthur Ashe. I don't know if it was pre or post AIDS. Don't ask. But Arthur Ashe had his own racket. Arthur Ashe had his own tennis shoe. But it was like, who would? And so they wanted to market Jordan and be like, let's make him an individual on a team sport. We think we can market him and he can have his own shoe line. What?
Hold on a second. E, what the fuck are you doing?
So
Is
I
that
was
some
winking
kind
at
of I love
He's
you to your
winking at-
girl
he-
with winking
Yeah.
and shit?
Winking at
Is that what the
somebody.
fuck you're doing right now?
He just joined the stream and he started doing
for
this thing.
fuck's
in the
sake.
win-
I'm sorry.
that-
I couldn't
I'm gonna let
ignore
it
it.
go.
He's like fucking like winking and dropping.
I think
I
it's
was only trying to do
Uh,
it once, and I only meant to do it once, and then I did it twice.
Sorry.
Oh.
I let the first one go, but then you did it again. I was like, what
I
the
wanted to
fuck
make
are you
sure.
doing?
I wanted to make sure.
Sorry. Go ahead,
I wanted to
Michael.
make sure.
I apologize. Jordan, the GOAT. Move
no.
on.
I saw him doing it. That's why I said, are you raising your hand? And you're, no. It's like,
I thought he actually before I was doing it, he did it the first time. I thought he was calling me a loser. I was like, "Hey, fuck you, Dick. Fuck."
I thought it was because you dropped kind of a lame joke, Troy.
Yeah, and he dropped the L. I was like, "Go fuck yourself, E."
yeah, me.
All right, at least I say I feel better. To be honest with you, I feel
Yeah,
that it
you
wasn't to me. So
I was
Pilot A.
like, that's fuck. Is he elling Troy's joke?
I really thought he did the first time, and then he did it again. I was like, "What the fuck, man? Hold on."
I should have done it twice. In reality, I should have just done it the one time, but I wasn't sure. So
Dude, I'm so goose chills right now. I don't know how to continue with this show.
Yeah, Michael Jordan.
I love you, Stein. Did I hear correctly?
No,
You
it's
gave
no,
him
it's
a
Renee.
name?
Ginzel. Lene.
Oh, L for Lene, I think. Hold on.
What's,
Give me
what's the old symbol for I love you? Whatever.
Here's a
I don't
Mandy.
remember.
Yeah, for Mandy. How do you do a D for douche? Because that's what you were when you did that. Dude,
Oh, sorry. Well, I would say I'm sorry I called you out, but actually I'm not. Sorry.
you can't make us all look like douches like that. She's wonderful, but you just dragged T-Roy and me and Travis into your horse shit. Don't do that
And
again.
Lindell. Fucking Lindell is an innocent victim in this, for fuck's sake.
And why wouldn't you do it like this? Like,
Just,
gonna
low
bitch.
key, man.
you went like this, dude. You were like, yeah, fucking yeah.
Well,
You could have been more prominent in the camera's face with your
I
fucking
want
dumb
to make sure.
ass.
I want to make sure it saw it.
Hey, I did that to Hat one time. We were at the Tiger game with fucking NFL Bob. And we were right there in front, but we were not in camera. And I was like, all right, fuck it. So I go over and I'm like, can you see me now? And I go, there was, Tigers suck. So I go right like behind the fucking plate, like third row. And she was like, oh my God, I see you. I was like timing it out for when there was a pitch. And I look up and I was like, ah. I still have it on fucking video. It was totally on camera.
Home, I'm like, really?
that's better than-
you did?
Yeah,
Why didn't
still
you just
better than that.
balls out? Just have your balls hanging out and stand up really quick and itch.
That would have been next move.
God.
Still better than that.
Isis, don't do that again. I will suspend you if you do that again.
You're on
Okay.
double secret probation.
If you wink, if I catch you winking, because I know you can't.
And it wasn't even. It was like you had fucking something in your eye too. Like,
Well, I did get a little brazen the second time, but
Fuck's sake.
I didn't think that people could. I didn't think that you'd see it because you were talking.
yeah, most
so.
people just listen. You'd have been all right. Sorry.
Exactly. That's the other thing. The reality is that most of the people are listening, so they wouldn't have seen it anyway.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
This might be a worse incident when you shit up the floor in a New York hotel. I am like, this is beneath you, E.
No, it's not.
Did you?
No, it's.
Was there a discussion before the show where you and her
No.
talked and you said you would give a signal?
No.
I was just totally.
I did it another time when we were doing
Yeah,
the
he
show.
did
You
it
just didn't
before
notice
too.
it because
I think
Troy
it's
wasn't
freaking
there.
adorable.
You think it's adorable? I want to shoot everybody in this fucking room right now.
You just didn't have Troy there to
fuck
see it.
you,
the
hold on.
time.
Not you, Troy.
All right,
Not you.
damn it, I called
Yeah,
it out.
I saw it last time too. I just didn't say anything.
See, I thought he was just like raising his hand, like
I literally thought he was calling me the loser the first time, and I was like, all right, fuck you, E. They're not all winners. Trust me.
you. Anyway,
Oh.
Michael,
So, Michael Jordan.
it's really cool because I'm fascinated by his like the Jordan 1s, the shoes, and all that. And the team was like, "What the fuck, man? What are you trying to do to this guy? He's a basketball player. And what are you trying to make him like a tennis player?" And they're like, "Yeah, kind of." And so Nike comes out with that Jordan 1 that he wore. You know, the red and black, the very
Yeah.
first pair.
Oh, yeah. The original
And-
Jordan.
They hoped that in 3 years they could recoup, like they could sell like $3 million worth of shoes.
You
And
know
in-
they couldn't use those? You know why they couldn't use those in the NBA?
because the NBA had a contract with Converse.
Nope.
Wasn't that what was
Nope.
it?
The original Jordans that were just the black and red. They
Yeah.
were not allowed to use in the NBA because, ironically enough, didn't have any white in them.
Seriously?
An NBA shoe had to have some white in it, which is ironic as fuck. But
Yeah. I thought this was like a racist joke.
no,
You
it's
were-
true. It's actually fucking true. Yeah, no, that was why it was the second one or whatever that came out that had a little bit of white to it.
Yeah,
And-
yeah, it had a lot of
that was the one that everybody could actually wear in the league because whatever their rule was that it had to have some white in it.
boy,
It
oh,
couldn't be.
boy.
Yeah, no,
Travis,
it's a
you
real
fact
thing.
check that.
Oh, don't even. I know my shit. Fuck yeah.
I bet
trust
you
him.
do, but
It's
that's
true.
insane.
No, there's just a stipulation that said it had to have some white in the shoe. Like I said, for the NBA, which is ironic, but it's a fact. And so they had to remodify it so that the next one had
They
black,
get their
red,
white
and
Right.
huh?
And white. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
well, you would think the white shoelaces but he probably had black or red shoelaces on that.
I don't
On
think
those.
the lace is necessarily qualified as the shoe. Maybe I can't speak totally about it, but that was
Yeah,
why that shoe
that's
was considered
crazy.
not eligible. Yeah.
I just ordered a pair of the black and red ones, and there's not any white on them. They are completely black and red.
Yeah, right. And that's why they couldn't use them in the NBA. And that was
Yeah.
the original Jordan. That was like the first fucking deal, but
Yeah.
they couldn't wear
Well-
him in the league, and he couldn't wear him. It was his own fucking shoe, and he couldn't wear it. And he would play for the Bulls, which are black and red, and he couldn't wear it because somehow, some way, in their rules, it had to have some white in it.
Wow, that's crazy. I've never heard that, but
And Travis,
I
if
do
you find out
remember
I'm
there was
wrong,
a
don't say anything.
I do remember there was a controversy in that he wasn't allowed to wear them. I know the official shoe of the league at the time was Converse, and they had all the big players. Nike was nobody.
Not at the time,
Nobody.
no. Yeah.
Jordan almost blew off the meeting, and his
Put him on
mom
the map.
his mom made him get on the plane and go, "These people want to talk to you about this opportunity. You're going to go there and hear them out at least." And Jordan went in there pouting, just wanted in and out, fuck off, and ended up liking their idea and their design. They wanted to sell $3 million worth of shoes in 3 seasons. They sold $120 million in shoes in like 3 months.
Yeah.
Took over the world, and the Jordan brand was. Then you
Changed
got,
the entire landscape.
and it was the inner city kids that, well, not only were killing each other for them, but they were. If you remember, Spike Lee directed those commercials.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, shit.
Come on, T.
Hold on. Mars Blackman. Boom!
Yeah, boy, there you go, Mark.
It took a
Yes,
minute. It's Cinco de Mayo. Okay, it takes me a second.
Got to be the shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be the shoes. Remember that
Yeah.
Mars Blackman and
Hell yeah.
Spike Lee directed those
The commercials and all that. Yeah, that was the start of it.
But his agent was saying Michael won't do what he doesn't want to do. Like a lot of people get pissed off because he won't jump in the ring. He's kind of, and this is why Tiger Woods is like this. Tiger Woods doesn't stick his nose in politics really, or social justice issues. You know, Jordan's big thing, like he got all kinds of shit for not blacking. He didn't back a black politician, a guy running for office, maybe in Chicago or something, or no, in North Carolina, his home state where he went to college.
Yeah.
And people were like, dude, this guy barely lost. He could, with Jordan's backing. But Jordan was like, look, I was focused on my craft. I didn't know enough about the guy. I'm not going to fucking endorse something I don't really know it.
No, one of his famous quotes, I believe, not, quote, but something along the lines of, hey, Republicans and Democrats buy shoes. I'm not going to fucking alienate any of them. I'm staying out of the political realm because I have more to gain.
It was about that politician. I can't remember his name, Gantz or something, that was running in North Carolina. And people were like, why wouldn't you back him? And his quote was, Republicans buy tennis shoes too.
Oh, well, there you go. See?
Sneakers too.
Spoiler alert.
No. I wasn't even going to mention that, T, but you're 100% right. And that's where that quote, that famous quote came from. Right. Republicans buy sneakers too. Yeah. And he said that was kind of taken out of context. It wasn't meant like, I don't give a shit about social issues because, hey, maybe some racists want to buy my shoes too.
No, but it's just, I'm not, fuck it, right. It's not my spot. You know, let somebody else do that fucking fight. I'm selling tennis shoes. I'm doing my thing. Like, everybody's got their, I'm not going to let, whatever, kids get murdered in front of me and not say anything. But it comes all down to it. Like, I'm just going to step back.
You notice, and people get pissed at Jerry Rice and Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods when Black Lives Matter is blowing up. And you've got these massive figures in the community that could get involved and they just don't.
And serious influence. That's the thing, though. Is that, I mean, those guys carry heavy weight, but they won't get in the ring. And that's where people are like, whoa, dude, you can totally fucking help us out. And they're like, but I can also fuck myself. So, whatever.
And Jordan is saying in there, people don't understand. They see the glamour of it and they see, wow, being idolized by everyone and people throwing themselves at you and wanting a picture with you. The guys that are interviewed, whether it's security guys or former players, they're like, Jordan couldn't take a night off. Like every person in the building was there to see Michael Jordan and he wanted to give them special, he wanted to play his ass off for them. And so he never took a night off. And every time he took the court, it was camera and crushed. Like, he couldn't leave his apartment or he couldn't leave the hotel. Like he couldn't go to McDonald's. He couldn't go into a bookstore. Forget it. And he still can. He's like, if you think, all those be like Mike, if I could be like Mike, Mike, remember the Gatorade spots? And
for sure.
He's like, you do not want to be like Mike. It is prison in your own skin. Like you can't leave. But what comes with that is, he's amassed a $2 billion fortune. But a couple of years ago, his agent said he got an offer for $100 million to do a 2-hour appearance. 2-hour appearance. And Jordan went,
$100 million.
Nah,
yeah.
$100 million for a 2-hour appearance. I was thinking about it, and it's like, people get pissed. They go, we just donate it to charity. Well, fuck you. Jordan, he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I don't fault he can do whatever he wants. But I did think, if you just took that $100 million, threw it in the bank at a measly 6%. If you threw it, invested it for 20 years at 6%, that 20 years later would be worth $320 million.
Sure,
he would have.
That's still throwing a pebble in the ocean, though. I mean, it doesn't. Whatever. Maybe at a tea time, and that's the saddest part. For real, like with a guy like that, where you just said $2 billion with a B, right? The $100 million. Now that's not bullshit money. And at first, when I heard this and when I thought about it, I was like, "Hey, fuck you." Like I don't give a shit who you are, how much you're worth, whatever you're doing. Like $100 million for 2 hours, go fucking do it, man. Like you're an asshole that you don't. But then it's like, maybe I had other plans. Maybe I had something going on, and it's to put it in perspective.
They could have scheduled to a different day. The point is,
whatever. It's just the point. Like he doesn't need it. And yes, that money could have done whatever, and you can argue it any which way you want, but
It's
He can do whatever
weird.
the fuck he wants. That's the beauty of having a $2 billion fucking industry, being the GOAT. Is there anyone else in any sport across? I mean, maybe Gretzky, maybe
No.
Babe Ruth. Well, no, I'm just saying. I mean, of any other sport, of any other genre, of anything that has that sort of clout, that is that kind of worldwide icon. Football,
Tyson
basketball,
had it
but
for a while. Tyson had it.
Tiger.
Tiger?
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, you can't even put Tyson and Jordan in the same.
Dude, Tyson was the biggest thing on planet Earth for 10 years.
Yeah, I agree. But
No,
I'm saying,
not
but he's still
now,
ultimately
not now.
it's. I wouldn't. Okay.
I would put
I'll give you
Tiger-
that. Fine, fair enough. But I mean, so what? I mean, like Babe Ruth. When it comes to baseball, there's what? Babe Ruth. That's number one.
Yeah,
Can you
probably.
give anybody? I mean, who else could you say? What else is there? Hockey. There's Gretzky.
Yeah, but they don't even sniff fucking
No,
the jockstrap.
no,
of
they
Jordan.
don't. I understand that, right? And Jordan.
LeBron? Could you put LeBron up there nowadays?
Fuck no, not even. I mean, money wise, probably. Who knows? LeBron's probably worth more than fucking $2 billion at this point. But that's just the times.
No, I'm talking
if
about
Jordan
the
was right
celeb-
now.
the global celebrity. The
Yeah.
global celebrity compared to Jordan.
No, I still say Jordan's fucking
Tiger, you could
football.
probably
There's nobody even close in football. I mean,
They-
who's the greatest like icon of all time in football? Who?
probably Tom Brady.
Especially because the rest of the
Maybe.
world doesn't all watch football. Not
Well,
our
no,
football.
but all right. So I'm just saying. I mean, what?
No, no,
Okay,
but
well,
that's- so
even
that's-
Messi or fucking Ronaldo or whoever. What's the fucking Pele?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe ultimately worldwide, but I guess what? They ain't fucking $2 billion with a B.
No. And you Tyson, I know they said for a time there wasn't a corner of the planet on planet Earth where he could go without being recognized.
Well, I'm sure.
No. He was so big globally, there wasn't a fucking clicking village that he could pop into where they didn't go, Mike Tyson. Like they fucking knew who he was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tiger had it for a minute too, but I'm talking about longevity. I'm talking about the problem is here's the thing. Here's the difference. Tiger got beat up with a fucking golf club.
Yeah.
Tyson bit off a fucking ear.
Yeah.
Jordan ain't do shit. Just be the GOAT. Done. Over.
He gambled. Maybe he got his. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh, I'm sorry. Does that even put a blemish anywhere on his fucking record? No. Is that
No,
biting off
but-
an
but
ear?
Weren't there rumors that his dad was murdered over gambling shit, or that's why he played baseball? He was kicked out of the league for 2 years. I mean, there's been rumors. I don't know what's
Yeah.
real.
Well, they also say the fucking moon's fake. Whatever, dude. You could say
is.
whatever the fuck you want,
Fucking
but who
don't
knows?
Get
Prove
started
it.
on that old ball that was placed there. Anyway, we got to wrap it up. It's getting late.
Oh,
for you
way late.
guys.
Hour and a half. It's like a real
Let's
show.
keep- Hell yeah. And I want to get you guys out of here, but we'll do a couple quick emails. People can write in. Walters at DetroitCast, email at DetroitCast. Travis, Eric. We got to get one for T-Roy too. But
No, don't email me. Don't
yeah,
email me.
T doesn't want emails. Never mind. Scratch that.
Send me
Dave
Labatt's.
writes in. Mike, glad to hear you again on the podcast. I really appreciate how you speak your mind on things. You're my number one podcast. I'll continue to make small donations when I can. Thank you. Well, thank you, Dave. We appreciate that. The members, we can't thank the members enough, and people that use the Amazon link and My Pillow and our sponsors. We'll get sponsors back on, eventually. It's kind of weird going through this, but I know, I've talked to Merck and Gabara. Gabara called me the other day, and Brent Wasik is like, dude, let me know when you're firing back up. And so is Kyle Mayer. Kyle's been great. So
File with Kyle.
hell yeah. These guys, Kyle helped me tremendously with filing for unemployment shit and all that kind of stuff. He's been great helping me with taxes and getting that all squared away because my stuff wasn't all in order. So thank you guys. And Dave, thank you for the email. Please continue to send them in. Gents, Sexy Eases, T-Roy, it feels good having you guys back. I was worried that I caused the downfall of the Detroit cast as I was a NANA member for a few years. And during the GM strike, our pay got cut, so I decided to get my freeze worth for a while. Welp, then Jay decides to get a big boy job again, and Mike went on holiday in Arizona. In all seriousness, it's really good that you're taking the time to focus on yourself and your health, as that's most important. As someone with previous alcohol issues, a complete change in scenery is the best thing to make a major change in one's life. I didn't say anything about alcohol problems.
Whoa. Holy shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Who? Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
I was getting a little out of control with the alcohol too. Let's be honest. Let's in fairness to old Jason here. But yeah, it's ugly. He says a change in scenery is the best thing to make major changes. I don't know. Some people would say you're running, but I agree with you, Jason. It's been good for me. It sounds stupid and cliche, but every day is a new day, and yesterday was the hardest day. Ooh, I've never heard that one.
Oh.
Heard that one? Every day is a new day, and yesterday was the hardest day.
Oh.
I would not agree that yesterday was the hardest day.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Last Tuesday was kind of a
You know what?
bitch.
Last Tuesday was a bitch, T. I don't agree with that, Jason. I think you need to. Look, the way it's worded makes it sound really like,
Like a Hallmark card.
Yes, every day's a new day, and yesterday was the hardest. Yesterday was rather simple for me. I mean, yesterday was a very, very easy day. So I don't agree with that necessarily, but if you want to put on your cards, that's fine. So glad you guys are getting back into things again. Jason, or is it Chowski? We don't usually say last name, but Jason, you know who you are.
Yeah,
thanks for
guy.
writing. Yeah, continue to write in, guys. I've got more. We'll get to them next time. Thank you, guys. Sorry for the delay tonight, Travis. I especially apologize to you. T-Roy's just going to get shit-faced sitting here with talking to us.
My vacation's
upstairs.
almost over, man. I got to fucking go back to work. Reality's going to hit me in the face.
He's going to be drinking, pina coladas and margaritas all night, whether we're talking on the mic or not. So I don't apologize to T. Isis, I don't apologize to him. Lene, that's for you.
Lene. Oh, wait.
Jeez.
That's for our little.
Is that right? There you go.
My little Lene and her sexy giggle.
I still say Mandy. Mandy, you'll always be my Mandy.
And then a big giant deeper douchebag, Isis. Travis, thanks to you, buddy. I do appreciate you. I know your schedule is very, very tight. So, did you talk to Fellhauer, by the way?
I have not, nor have I talked to the other Mark yet. It's on my list, so.
Yeah, Fellhauer's expecting a call. Told him you wanted to shoot the shit about some of the inner
Real
workings.
Job, Family, Newberg's album, doing your shit. Put it on the back burner.
I am looking forward to Chris's album dropping. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
too.
See,
Is your name going to be on it?
Let's hope so.
Fucking
we won't,
yeah,
we'll
let's
get into
hope.
it now, but yeah, the name that sounds it sounds cool. So anyway, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks everybody for checking us out and listening. We'll come back on another day this week. I'm not sure which day. I'll get with Travis and ENT and figure something out. But have a great rest of Cinco de Mayo, everybody. Thank you all for being here. We'll do it again soon.
Bye, Lene.
Let me know when we're clear, Travis.